Hey everyone! Today we are going to talk about another evil woman from the past. Let's do it. Gesine Jesch Margarethi Gottfried was born March 6, 1785 and died April 21, 1831 by decapitation. She was a German serial killer who murdered 15 people by arsenic poisoning in Bremen and Hanover, Germany. Between 1813 and 1827, she was the last person to be publicly executed in the city of Bremen. Gesine was born into a poor family in Bremen. She had a twin brother, Johann Tim Jr. Gesine was known as Jesch. Her mother was a seamstress and her father was a tailor. Both had a preference to her brother. Her father encouraged her to marry at the first opportunity, which she did at the age of 21 to Johann Mittenbert, who was a saddler in Bremen. Together they had 3 children. When Johann's father died, they inherited some money. Johann's behavior changed and he began drinking and gambling. In 1813, he told Jesch that they were destitute and all the money was spent. A short time later, he developed stomach pains and shortly died. A few months later, she met Michael Christoph Gottfried, a well-off wine merchant. Gesch's mother also died of stomach pain in May of 1815, and then her daughters died, and more died in the same manner. Coincidentally, a cholera epidemic hit Germany around 1815 and helped obscure her crimes. Jesch helped greatly in the town during the epidemic, gaining the name of Angel of Bremen. In 1826, she sold her house to Johann and Wilhelmina Rumpf, and they asked her to stay on as a housekeeper. This led to Wilhelmina's death. A maid left saying that the illness and death followed Jesch. Johann Rumpf became ill also, but now was suspicious. He analyzed his food and found specks of white powder, which he took to the local chemist, who decided it was arsenic and notified authorities. Jesch found out and fled to Hanover, where she started killing again. Starting with a mother and her daughter, who died in May of 1827. Then in May, Frederick Klein was killed. Jesch was captured by authorities on March 6 of 1828, which was her 43rd birthday. News of her arrest quickly spread. She confessed to killing 15 people and trying to kill many more. The reasons behind the killings remain unclear and widely debated. But the emotional deprivation and suffering during her childhood and her modus operandi lead to the assumption that she suffered from Munchausen by proxy, which is when you make someone else sick and you get attention for their suffering, which is a common disorder among female serial killers. Some of her victims included her parents, her 2 husbands, her fiancé, and her children. Before being suspected and convicted of the murders, she garnered widespread sympathy among the inhabitants of Bremen, because so many of her family and friends fell ill and died. Because of her devoted nursing of the victims during the time of suffering, she was known as the Angel of Bremen until her murders were discovered. Jesch used rat poison called mouse butter, which was very common at the time, which consisted of small flakes of arsenic mixed with animal fat. She would mix small doses into her victims' food, and when they got sick, she selflessly and resignedly offered to take care of them during their convalescence while continuing to poison them. During the period of her criminal activity, she was considered a model citizen and was well liked in the community, even after the constant loss of family members who suffered. It seemed that the friendly, candid, and kind woman chased a cloud of misfortune. Johann Rumpf would have been her 12th victim if he hadn't become suspicious and finding the small flakes of white in his food that she had prepared for him. But she had already moved and claimed 2 more victims, and moved again and was withering the life of her latest victim, Friedrich Klein. On the night of March 6, 1828, her 43rd birthday, she was arrested and sentenced to death by decapitation. She was publicly executed on April 21, 1831. It was the last public execution in the history of Bremen. Gesch's death mask was made to study the facial patterns of criminal women. I hope you enjoyed the short story today. I wish everyone a good day or night. Please like and subscribe. Come again, and good night all.